Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mike again with another MLS updater. Today it will be our weekend previews of some of the games that are going to be happening tomorrow, Saturday the 3rd of September in MLS. Okay, so let's start with the opening game of the weekend, Minnesota United and FC Dallas. Both sides, interestingly, their last games that they've played in MLS were both against the same opposition, Real Salt Lake. Minnesota on Wednesday night went to RSL and succumbed to a 3-0 defeat with a relatively heavily rotated squad. FC Dallas have had that little bit extra resting time before their trip to Minnesota. They played RSL last Saturday at home in Dallas and came away with a 1-1 draw. This game has big implications on home field advantage once we reach the playoffs. Both Minnesota in 3rd, FC Dallas in 4th at the moment. And the aforementioned RSL only within touching distance of them. So there can be a lot of movement in the playoff positions, more than falling out of the playoff positions for these two sides, who both know that 3 points is another step forward to ensuring home field advantage come the end of regular season. For me, I'm going with the advantage for Minnesota. In this one, I think with the rest that's been happened on Wednesday, the home field advantage on Saturday, they should come away with a win, despite their possibly quite leaky defence with the unfortunate injuries they have there. Following the Minnesota-Dallas game will be Columbus Crew versus the Chicago Fire. Columbus Crew coming off a 1-0 win against Inter Miami. Playoff rivals are in great form and are sitting currently in 6th position in the East. Chicago down in 13th are 5 points off Miami in 7th, so technically are still within this playoff race in the Eastern Conference. But the realistic, with the amount of other sides competing with this, expecting many of them to drop points is wishful thinking. But Chicago will no doubt continue to fight until it is mathematically impossible for them to get through. Columbus are on great form. They've certainly shown their abilities with Cucho Hernandez coming in to be able to convert these chances and grind out wins and grind out draws in the last minute against Cincinnati in the El Israel derby. So for me, with the home advantage, Columbus Crew should be able to take this tie and then look to cement their place as one of those key teams in the East who will be competing in the playoffs come the end of the season. And looking at another East Conference matchup, FC Cincinnati face Charlotte on this Saturday. Charlotte have struggled away from home quite often, and they seem to be falling away and out of the playoff picture altogether now. But their focus will definitely be going on to what they can do next season, knowing that this has been a relatively successful expansion season in many ways, with a lot of changes that happened and quite a roller coaster ride for the club and the fans themselves. FC Cincinnati are very much in this playoff race. They have, interestingly, only lost once since the beginning of July. The issue is they've only won once. It's with 8 draws. So looking at this game, can they continue to stay unbeaten? Quite possibly so. But at the moment, it looks like Charlotte could battle out for a draw, but you can't write off these front three for FC Cincinnati, Acosta, Brenner and Brandon Vazquez. It's going to be incredibly hard for Charlotte to be able to contain those, and I think with the introduction of Matt Miazga at the back as well should make FC Cincinnati the favourites in this one, and definitely the ones who you should be backing, I would say, for the win this weekend. And sticking in the East, New York Red Bulls face Philadelphia Union, and the Union are flying high, racing towards that supporters' shield, with LAFC in the West falling away slightly in recent weeks. And the Union will look to go to New York and face a side who are often much more happier playing away from home. In this, for this reason, you've got to go with Philadelphia once again. They seem an unstoppable force at the moment. New York got a good win away at their rivals Montreal as they're fighting for home field advantage come the playoffs as well. But it's hard to look away from a Philadelphia Union side who, at the moment, just look unstoppable. It's got to be a win for them. And last but by no means least, go across to the Western Conference for the final game on Saturday, where we see Nashville take on Austin. Nashville come into this one after a comprehensive victory over Colorado and look to be in fine form, with Hani Mukhtar really firing them into a playoff spot. And they are one of those ones chasing Minnesota and Dallas to try and get that home field advantage going into the playoffs. Austin FC themselves, after the highs of beating LAFC, fell to defeat in Portland recently. So they need to get themselves back on track. But this one will be mostly noticeable due to the MVP derby, possibly with Driussi against Hani Mukhtar. And the way that Nashville have been on form and the way they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they can maybe sneak out of this with a slight win. But I think the more realistic view is looking at a draw on this one, and I think we should probably see both these MVP rated players coming up on the score sheet in this one today as well. Thanks again for listening, guys. That's all the Saturday's games coming up tomorrow. Some of my thoughts on the way it could go come the final whistle in each game. Thanks again for listening. Please hit the subscribe button and follow me at Mike Rice 1983 on Twitter for more articles, interviews and information on all things MLS. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the soccer and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.